Welcome again in this third volume of the Learning Microsoft Azure course, which will be about implementing Azure Web Apps. In this section, we're going to take a look at a lot of different things. Azure Web Applications and Azure Application Services Plan Overview, followed by talking about the deployment of Azure Web Apps in a couple of different ways, and then walking you through another section where I'll zoom in on a couple of different configuration settings for Azure Web Apps. I'm also going to jump over to monitoring web applications traffic and diagnostics, and then in the last part of this section, you will learn about scalable web application solutions available in Azure. Let me start with a quick overview of Azure Web Apps and Web App Plan Services. Now, first of all, why using Azure Web Apps? Azure Web Apps is a platform as a service or PaaS solution, which means that you're using the platform without actually taking care of the underlying infrastructure. It allows you to easily deploy web applications in a fully managed solution platform without touching the infrastructure itself. So you're not building virtual machines, you're not really building storage, network, and so on. You're just focusing on the web application itself. Deployment of the Azure Web Apps is pretty fast and accurate, and it can also be automated using automation scripts out of PowerShell, RM templates, using different deployment tools like Chef, Puppet, Visual Studio, or any other cloud management tool we already covered in previous videos. Azure Web Apps provide support for multiple web platforms and different frameworks. It's flexible and scalability is built in. Now, within Azure, we always talk about consumption, meaning what's the cost of running this platform service within my Azure environment? So I think it's quite important to spend a couple of minutes around Azure Web Application Service Plans. Azure Web App Service Plans are part of the overall Azure Application Service Plans. They provide a feature and capacity that can be shared across different Azure applications. Azure App Services provide a combination of websites, mobile services, and BizTalk services, nowadays also known as Logic Apps and API Apps. Now, when taking a look in the portal through different application service plans, you will detect 5 different ones. A free one, a shared one, basic one, standard, and premium. Now, I'll show you again later on when I'm doing my demo in the portal, and then specifically pinpointing some of the differences between each and every of these listed plans. The application resource can be changed between different service plans, and obviously, depending on you're performing an upgrade or downsizing, you might get new features or might even lose some. So it's quite important to understand the different aspects of each and every plan, of course. When thinking about Azure Web Apps and the supported frameworks at the time of creating this course, they obviously support Microsoft.NET Framework, allowing you to migrate on-premises running ASP.NET web applications. Thanks to Microsoft.NET, it also supports PHP-based website, Node.js, Python, Java, and even the classic ASP is still supported. So this was a quick introduction on Azure Web Applications, where I would like to invite you for the next video in which I'll walk you through the deployment of web applications in a couple of different ways.